So today I just decided to go live. I want to talk about entrepreneurship. I know I've been talking about cooking, I've been talking about low GI food, but today I just want to delve into what entrepreneurship is about. Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for joining. Kindly let me know where you are watching from. Kindly let me know where you are watching from. So today I just want to talk about what I wish I knew before I ventured into entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship has been something that I've always loved. From the time that I was young, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. Somehow I just knew that I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I didn't know how. I didn't know the how. That is, what the problem was. I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but I did not know how I was going to be this entrepreneur. So that's what I just want to talk about today. If you are an entrepreneur or you would like to be an entrepreneur, leave a comment for me. Let's talk. Let me hear what you have done so far. All right. So this is me today. All right. So this is me today. All right. I just wanted to check if this is working. I'll just put this away. It's just interfering. All right, all right. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining. Not tonight. I was going to say tonight. This afternoon. So I've never had a live this time of the day during the week, but I thought I should just go live today and talk about entrepreneurship. What I wish I knew before I went into entrepreneurship. So, like I said earlier, I love entrepreneurship, but there were a number of things that I did not know I needed to know before I ventured into entrepreneurship. And there I was, I had this great idea. It was an events management. There were so many things that I wanted to do, but this time around it was the events management. Okay. So I went ahead, went to CIPC. I think I used, I use an agent? I can't remember whether I used an agent or not, but I decided to register the company. I didn't think it over. I didn't think about stuff. I didn't think about finance. I didn't think about anything. All I wanted to do was to have this company running. And I just was thinking about what I was going to earn, how much I was going to earn from this. Was I going to earn anything from this? You know, was I going to make a profit? So my mind was focused on profit making more than anything. Trust me, my mind was focused on profit making. If you've just joined the chat, kindly drop a comment for me in the comment box. Yeah, I was just looking at something here, a little bit distractive on my side, but I just wanted to see something. So, yes, what have been your thoughts in your journey of entrepreneurship? Have you ever thought of being an entrepreneur? Yeah, so for me, I'm not giving a session. I'm not giving a tutorial. I am just talking about me. That's why on this channel I'm saying life with Francine, because I'm talking about my experiences, something that somebody can learn from. So yes, sometimes I will give a tutorial, I will give a teaching, but today I'm just talking about what I should have known before I started my company, before I ventured into entrepreneurship. So I had the great idea. I went to CIPC, I registered. There, I had the documents. You know, when you go to when you register your company, 24 hours later, you've got your documents. You're excited. It's a company, but what do you do next? Okay. I had not done market research. I had not checked, for anything. For me, it was just like, oh yeah, I'm just going to make money. That is how I did it. All right. So I just want to recall what happened in this company. It didn't even last. Okay. So when I registered that time, when I got into entrepreneurship, or let me say when I started the business that time, it didn't take 24 hours to get your documents. It took quite a while. Okay, so I filed everything, submitted everything, and then waited for documentation to come. I think it took a week or two. Yeah, so I got my documents. Then I realized, okay, in order for me to operate, I needed a bank account. I did not know that I could use my own account for starters because I hadn't done anything. So I decided to open an account with ABSA. Okay. When I got there, it was issues of who's the director, something that I thought was straightforward, wasn't straightforward. So I had to start learning. But anyhow, I managed to open this account. Then there's the checkbook. And when I saw the checkbook, I can tell you that I felt happy. I felt excited. Yeah, now I've got a checkbook. But mind you, when you have the company name, you have the company documents, now you have a bank account. It doesn't signify anything. It doesn't tell you anything. You are just there. This is the sad part. This is what a lot of people don't understand. You are just there. Okay. So no background of business, no background of entrepreneurship. I just have a registered company and here I am. So what I did now with this particular company, I needed to start looking at the market. There was no market. What I did there was trying to create, um, you have a product and then you start looking for the market, which was completely, totally wrong. Yeah. So after that, I just want to check for something here as I talk. Mm. Yeah, so after that, I got um, I got a business deal. Somebody hired me to do an event for them, events project for them. Okay, I did it wholeheartedly. My mistake there, I didn't have staff. It was just me. So I had to quickly hire staff. I found two people that I worked with. They were not trained, they didn't know what was happening. And I just wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready for this venture. I can tell you that. And this is the mistake that a lot of people make. I wasn't ready at all. I picked up two ladies that I wanted to work with. I asked them, told them what I was going to do for the day. So really, they were not my employees. They were just casual workers for the day. Anyway, we worked. Everything went on fine because it wasn't a complicated project. We were paid, and that was all. Okay, I'll tell you the mistakes that I made for this particular event. I did not have the rates for the job. I did not know how much it cost to run such an event. I had absolutely no idea. I didn't know, I hadn't done any costing, no budgeting, nothing. I didn't know the rates on the market. I didn't know how much I was supposed to pay workers, So I simply offered them something on that day, on the spot. Okay, this is how much I can give you. So even when I was hired, the quotation, because I didn't know the rates on the market, I just gave them thumbs up the quotation, an amount, and I gave them. So when I look back, I realized that, what I did was really out of this world. Okay. This is where a lot of people struggle. You want to get into a business, you want to venture into a business, but really you have no idea what you want to do. Just type in the comments if you can relate to what I just told you. That was my first business. Okay. Completely no information. I didn't know. I can comfortably say today that I didn't even know what I was doing. I wanted to do the business, but I didn't know the how. Okay. I didn't know how to go about it. Okay. So, what led me to venture into such a business was simply because I loved to host events. Okay. I would host some events, and I felt, okay, this is something that I can do because every time we hosted events at home, it was very successful. And I felt, this is a business that I could do. Yeah, I was wrong. I was very wrong. I felt I didn't give them the right quotation. I felt I wasn't paid what I should have been paid. And even though I paid the ladies that came through, they were happy with what they were paid. I was not satisfied with what I got from this deal. Okay. So there was no contract to begin with. I went to this person that contracted me. There was no contract of agreement. There was basically nothing, no terms to refer to. Even the spec, there was no specification, job specification. There was nothing. There was no scope. So I just started working. So that is how my first business went. It was so bad. Even though I got paid for it, it was so bad. I didn't get feedback from them. I didn't ask for feedback from them. It was just a done deal, even though within me, I was not satisfied. Okay. So that was my first business. Have you ever had a business? Have you ever started a business and you did not know what you were doing? This is me. Okay. So I didn't factor in tax. I didn't factor in a finance person. I didn't factor in, there was nothing, no cost budget. So today, I'm an expert. I'm a new venture creation expert. I look back and feel, wow, that was really it was a gamble to have gotten into a field like that with no knowledge at all. I had no idea what I was doing. Okay. So that is how my first business went. Of course, before that, I had done a few things here and there. I don't like saying side hustle. I've never liked the phrase side hustle or a hustle. I want to call it a business right away. I had some businesses which I did, but I was not knowledgeable. I had not really interrogated the issue of entrepreneurship. I had not really interrogated the issue of business. I was just interested in how much I could make. Okay, does it ring a bell for you? This is how most people start. Okay, so what I would advise actually for people that would like to get into entrepreneurship or would like, let me simplify it. Anybody that would like to start a business, there is a way that you can start a business. Okay, you don't just start like the way I've explained. You have to do some research and just read up a little bit, look at what other people are doing with the same kind of business that you want to start. Then maybe you could have a business case. Otherwise, I talk to people that want to start a business. I interview them. I want to find out what is happening, what is going on their minds. Why do they want to start? Is it something that they want to do, full time, or are they employed? How exactly are they going, through this? So let me know in the chat if you have done anything like what I did. You start a business, but you don't even know what you are doing. Yeah, so that was my first business. It was an events management business. Okay. I'll talk about within the same business. I had another request. Okay, so somebody just called me. What I also didn't know is that people could call upon you any time of the day. Now, I needed to define my times, which I did not. So I was open 24 hours. That is what I had done because I was new to the industry. I didn't even understand business working hours. I just felt it's a business, it's my business. So if I'm the business owner, it just means I must be available for this business. I was so wrong. Okay. So I was contacted one evening and somebody says, look, Francine, there's this place, this is what they are looking for. Can you supply us with chairs and all these things? I knew where to get the chairs. I knew where the source was. They didn't know. So it was easy for me. I got to hire a car and I hired somebody again. I didn't have staff. Remember, for this business, I didn't have staff. I was getting people that were just readily available to run with the idea. So, I had this person who went and dropped off the chairs at this place, and he didn't just care, he just dropped them there. But because I was particular about what I was doing, I was very cautious about what I was doing. I didn't want to do a bad job, even if it was just a small business. I didn't want to be this person that delivers, you know, a product or rather a service or a product without caring about it. So what I did there was to follow up. I went there to see what this person had delivered. So the issue here is because he didn't work for me full time. I told him, okay, let's meet at this place. Let's pick up the chairs and let's take them to this venue. Good, they were white chairs. My goodness. He picked them up. He did not do what we had agreed. I did not give him a contract. I did not give him a job description. I did not give him any specification. There was no spec for him again. My mistake. I had no idea what I was doing completely. If you just joined me, I'm talking about what I wish I knew before starting my business. So this was my very first business that was registered, okay, and it was an events business. So I'm talking about a time where I was given a project to manage. Oh, not to manage. This time around, I was just supposed to give them the chairs. So I went to the venue and I asked these people. I wanted them to sign a contract. They declined. They didn't want to sign the contract. And I'm thinking, how did I get myself here? I give them a contract to sign and they refuse to sign, but they want to get these chairs. Now, remember, I have hired the chairs. It was such a mess, I'm telling you. It was such a mess. So they told me, because it was a company event, they told me the boss was the one who should have signed that document. So my mistake was that I delivered a service before signing a contract. It was so bad. Okay. The first time that they called upon me, I shouldn't have been in a hurry. I should have listened to what they were looking for. And then I should have given them my terms. And before agreeing to delivering anything to them, I should have sent them my contract. So if they don't sign the contract, we agree that, there's nothing happening. It was bad. Then I should have known that those were not the best fit for me. But I didn't know. I didn't know what I was doing. This is business we're talking about. So some mistakes that I have made as a business person. This is what I'm sharing today. So I get to this place. They're having the event that day. Was it the same day or the following day? This person that I had hired for the day went and offloaded the chairs and left the venue. He did not dust them, he did not clean them. And then I get to this place, they refuse to sign the contract. Now, there's no way I can take back the chairs because this person has left. And there's no way I can cancel because I have already paid where I got the chair. So I needed to hang around and make sure that I get paid. So that is the mistake I get. Fortunately for me, it was a government institution. They paid me. Okay, they paid me based on the quotation. And then when it was time to pick up the chairs, this person again went to collect the chairs, but I don't know what happened. They were missing. So do you see what happened there? When the person was offloading, the chairs were not counted. I was not there to count the chairs, but he insisted. I just paid. It was just a mess. I'm telling you, it was just a mess. So this person just insisted that no, I dropped off so many, and this is all that I have picked. Now, I was at a disadvantage. Even though they had paid me, I had to pay for the chairs, I had to pay for transport, and I had to pay this person, and I was left with very little. So I decided this is not for me. I found it to be a little bit too much work, too much running around, and I felt I wasn't ready. So, what should I have done before starting? I should have first looked at the industry. I should have looked at the pros, the cons. I should have looked at what I had at my disposal. I should have looked at manpower. The labor was really a problem for me. The labor was a problem. To find somebody that I could trust, was a problem. So this is what happened in my first business. Just write in the comments if you've ever experienced anything like this. One thing that I would like to advise you, if you have not started your business yet, do not overlook these things that I've spoken about. Look at the industry, okay? Look at the manpower that you will need. Before we even talk about, we talk about high level matters like finance, tax, we talk about legal matters. Firstly, look at the industry. Is it what you want to do? Are you capable of doing this? Do you have the skill yourself? Do you have the manpower? Do you have the labor? Before we talk about all these other high level things. So I really wish I had done my research. This is what I can tell you. This is how I can conclude with this one. I really wish I had done my research. So what I did was to abandon the project. I look back and I feel, would I have managed anyway? Was it really worth it? For me, I would say no, it's too much work for me. It's not what I was looking for. Even though I looked at the profit part, it's not what I was looking for. Okay. So I didn't do my research. And I want to advise you today. I want to encourage you today. If it's something that you want to do, not talking about the kind of business that I did, but for any business, to avoid the mistakes that I have made myself, the best you can do is to make sure you understand the industry. Do you have the capability? Do you have the skill? Do you have the manpower, that is the labor? Okay, before we even talk about the capital is something else that is secondary, but you yourself, just where are you in this whole thing? Thank you for joining me. If you just joined, kindly say hi in the chat. You know, I'm talking about what I wish I knew before I started my business. I missed, I missed big time. It wasn't easy. It wasn't nice. I look back today as an expert. I look back and think, what was I doing? What exactly did I do? Okay, I put myself in a place which was very ugly. I put myself in a place where I didn't achieve what I wanted to achieve. I wanted the profit, but the profit wasn't there. The profit wasn't there because it's not because it couldn't have been realized, but it's because I just didn't know how to go about it. I did not do my research. I just didn't care. I just started. Okay. Now this is not how you start a business. This is not how you start a business. You don't just start. So that is how I have walked in my journey of entrepreneurship. That is how I started. I abandoned the project altogether, and I didn't even do any filing of tax. I mean, there was nothing to file for tax there. There was nothing to do for finance because it just didn't work from the onset. It just didn't work for me. Let me know. Have you started a business before and you just didn't know what you were doing? I just had an honest chat here and telling you how I started. I've told you how I have messed along the way, what I didn't know, what I wish I knew. I really wish I had done a research. I really wish I had prepared adequately before getting onto the market. I really wish I had a checklist for myself. I really wish I had even the list of things like the rates. I didn't even know how much to charge. I didn't even know how much to pay the people that I needed to, the people that were hired. Okay. So this is how it's been for me. And all the time I sit with the entrepreneurs, I ask them, or anybody that wants to get into a business, I just ask them, what exactly are you looking for? Is it, are you fully employed? Is it something that you want to use as, I don't want to call it a side hustle. I want to call it passive income. Okay. Do you want to use this for passive income? Do you want to earn an extra income for yourself? Or is it something that you want to grow in the future and maybe at some point continue? Actually, the other day I was talking to a friend of mine and she was telling me about business and all that. My advice firstly was, do not leave your former employment before you start. There are different kinds of businesses. There are different levels. If you are going to do an innovative project, startup project, you will find that when it's a startup, it's not going to take off immediately. There's so much that you need to do. But if it's just a normal business of buying and reselling, I mean, that anybody can do. It can take off anytime. So I was just telling her, cautioning her that, if she wants to take this up, then she needed to weigh whatever she needed to do, just weigh the options. Try to stay in the job before you leave. And then if you think now you've attained a certain level in the business, then you can comfortably leave. But again, it is something to be discussed. As an expert, I know better today. Right. Thank you so much for joining me. Just leave your comments for me. Let me know where you are watching from. Let me know if you've ever opened a business or you're thinking about opening one. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you.